Hello, Hawaii viewers. It's Olivia, your favorite government producer, here with the first and the last update for the month of June for the Kauai County Council. Wednesday's meeting was probably the most packed meeting of the month. Everything else was pretty routine, but we saw a presentation about some of the legislation regarding midwifery that was brought forward by Councilmember Bulasan and Councilmember Holland. So we got a nice informative presentation on Wednesday, and then we also saw a presentation about some upcoming changes that was up for vote for some traffic lane changes on Kaneka Street, which, if you don't know, that is a corridor between Puhi Road and Chiefess Kamakahelei Middle School. So let's dive in. Today's meeting opened with a very powerful presentation about midwifery legislation that passed through our state's legislature this session. Advocates from the ACLU of Hawaii, the Hawaii Home Birth Collective, and traditional practitioners joined virtually to share their mana'o. Their message that current midwifery law is still too restrictive and is putting cultural and Native Hawaiian birth practices at risk. Some of the council members offered strong support. Councilmember Bulasan reflected about how he never really thought about this until he became a new father, and it's one of the most important things that he believes and the council should support. Councilmember Holland voiced some concerns about government overreach.
Continually baffled at government overreach in certain things like home birth. It's like been happening for hundreds of thousands of years. Women have been giving birth. The fact that those things, those regulations seem just so onerous and unfair. So I appreciate.
Advocates say more changes are still needed, and they plan to return with amendments next session. We'll see how the county council supports this kind of legislation in the future. If you'd like to see the full presentation, please go to the timestamp listed below on this lower third, and go ahead to our live broadcast from Wednesday, and you can see the whole presentation. There's a lot of information. The council approved a long-planned redesign of Kaneka Street and its intersecting roads in Puhi, aimed at improving safety near Chiefess Kamakahelei Middle School. It may be easier, however, instead of describing the changes to you verbally, to also give you a visual. So if you're listening on podcasts, I've included the images on top of the show notes, or you can just watch the YouTube video to see visually where these changes will take place. So one of the confusing things that might come up is that Resolution 2025-30 doesn't include a new roundabout. It's just taking the Kaneka-Nuhou Street roundabout and formally recognizing it in the county code, which is not what it is right now. But probably the most substantial change is taking Kaneka Street and turning it, instead of the 2 lanes going each way, into a 3-lane. So they're going to add bike lanes on each side. And then also they're going to add a center turn lane, kind of similar to how it is on Wright Street, especially for like those important driveways like Ono Street, Mano Street, and also the Puhi Park. So the changes go far beyond just paperwork. It also installing new crosswalks at multiple intersections, including Nuho, Ono, Mano, and Puhi Road, establishing new stop signs on Ono Street, Mano Street, and at Puhi Road, and still making sure that there is a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit on Kaneka with a 15-mile-per-hour school zone between Mano Street and Nuho. Additionally, they'll be designating turn-only lanes at key driveways, including the school and Puhi Park. So basically, people already do this. I feel like they just use a 2-laner and then use the left lane to turn left, and so overall, I think this is definitely something that has the community's attention. I think they spoke about a community meeting that they had it already, and have been in touch base with. So the one thing that was different from the community meeting that I feel important to point out is that instead of having the bike lane go all the way to the roundabout, it's actually cutting off a little sooner. So I'll have the map up. But that's just because they had some concerns about the bike lane going that far. And that's community concerns. So make sure that you participate in the process. I'll have some resources down below because your voice does matter. Obviously, the community's voice mattered, and they're going to be making some adjustments to it. So So overall, though, the changes are designed to slow traffic, making it safer to walk and bike and ease those school drop-off headaches. Just don't expect cones just yet. The physical changes will roll out after signage is posted and pavement is marked. To see the full presentation, I've also included the timestamp right here so that you can go watch our live broadcasts and watch the full presentation for yourself. The council also accepted $445,000 in grant funding, including $4,000 for chemo emergency management training, nearly $392,000 for high-five redemption centers in Kekaha and Kaloa, and $50,000 for the Kauai Sexual Assault Nurse Examiner program. And there's even more good news. KBD confirmed the same program is fully staffed with 6 trained nurses, crucial support for victims of assault. 6 bills passed final reading, including updates to the Open Space and Natural Resource Preservation Fund and collective bargaining agreements covering multiple public worker unions through 2029. Lastly, there was an executive session that was held regarding a potential legal settlement. No public action was reported. From birth rights to bike lanes, the Kauai County Council is shaping our island for our community. But the process doesn't work without you. Democracy is not a spectator sport. So if you want to get involved, please visit the county's website right here to get agendas, minutes, all of the important stuff from the meetings. So this is Olivia with Kauai Community Media, signing off.